So the last part of the assignment, we will look at the cap, and there will be some things to do, and you'll still have to finish those grapes. But now, by the way, one tip: when you have this grape here, there's like a water spot on it. You can do it as a separate shape on top of that, you know, with the different, like a separate gradient mesh on that. So don't worry about it if you, unless you want to create a mesh. It's just, I'm saying this is probably a shape easier to do. Okay. So now we will create a new layer, and it's gonna be original 2. Okay, so create a new layer, and go ahead and bring on the last artboard, the third artboard, go ahead and bring the cap into it. So file, place, and it's the LabAssign 5 image JPEG. Okay, so place that right in the middle, and go ahead, lock that layer so you don't work in the original 2 layer. I thought I put a 2 next to it. Let me see. Lock it, and then we will create a new layer on top of that. So go ahead and create one more, and name this one gradient. Oh, actually, let's call it cap mesh. It'll be easier. Okay. And mine is black, so I will change the color to, I don't know how that will show up. Let me see, blue maybe. Black will be okay too, I guess. Dark green. Let's see how that's gonna show. This actually, I'm thinking like it might be easier. Now, how many shapes would you use to create a mesh for the cap as well as the handle? 1 or 2? Yes, don't do it in 1. So you would have to draw 1 shape. Now, one thing, and I'm going to tell you this. The cap, you can just do a pen tool. However, and on your assignment, it tells you here the handle tutorial. However, notice this. If I'm tracing the handle, and this is how you would do it, let's say. So I'm going to choose a mid-tone shade to use from the handle. Don't do it because I want you to see something. If I trace it, I guess it doesn't matter which way I go. And I'm going to try to be quick and not like as specific. And I can't see it, so, oh, wrong place. Yeah, see how perfect my handle is? But let's say I will trace it and really quickly. And now I want to add a mesh. Even doing go mesh or just adding mesh. Look what happens to my mesh. The shape is irregular. So you actually will not do this way. You would have to start with a box method. You draw a box. You can be this big or whatever. You're gonna manipulate. You'll see the tutorial. You'll start with a box, and then you're gonna go object, alien mesh 2x2. All right, and then you'll be conforming this shape and adding points to the shape. You see what I mean? That way the meshes will be better when you do it, because then you can just move the points. And you can do your own thing with the mesh. You see how now the mesh is conforming? So you actually will be doing a tutorial. If you try to do it not the box method, it won't work. And keep that in mind when you're doing for your project, which I'm gonna give you in a minute. It has to be any irregular shapes you have, start with the box method, otherwise it'll be pain and it won't come out right. Now for this part of it, then you can, it's not very irregular shape, so I just use my pen tool. Honestly, you only need 4, okay, you need 2 points on top, 2 in the bottom because it's rounded, and that's it. And you want to make them even, so I put 1 here, 1 here, one right there, and I curve it, get my handles out, one here, another one. You see, it's not many points, so no more than 6 points is enough. And you close the shape, and that's all you have. And now I don't even know if I choose mid-tone, so let me choose like a mid, not this one, this is dark tone. That's my shape. Now when you're working on this, you have a lot of changes in color. If you brought your cap in, you see you have highlights. You have, and notice the highlight, this one goes from darker to lighter on top. And actually it's pretty even, it looks on the projector. Then here, different shades, then you have the highlight, the shadow, and there's just so many. Now, remember when you put a mesh, it works from, like, so let's say I'm gonna put a mesh right here in the middle of my highlight. It goes 4 ways, right? It goes from that point out. So the thing is with these, it doesn't work the same as it works on a round shape, because this has to be stopped right away, right? But cannot be stopped right here because this is still the highlight. So you may actually have points outside and more like here to stop it. So see what I'm just doing only straight lines for now, less work. And then I will select this point, select the shade, select this point, and I'm selecting not this one. Now we may have to manipulate. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, second shape a little bit. Probably more than that then. Oh man, it's choosing the black. Let me get back to this mode. So I may have to use the highlight still. Alright, so you actually selecting the highlight. Okay, so the bottom is not yet chosen. See how it's, if it spreads too much, and actually it's not, the projector's making it seem like it is. Looks like it's more, right? But it's not on my screen. If it is, that means those lines are too far apart. So this easy way, delete them and do them again. This is what I would do. Delete the least lines you have, the better to work with. And then you have the color that you last chose. You put them right here maybe, or maybe a little bit more in. And it's gonna make it different. You see what I mean? So that's how you would work with the lines. And these are way too far out anyway. So I would probably delete this one too. I just like deleting on these and get closer. See the last point chosen? So here I go, there. Stopping it. So, now you probably feel like, oh, maybe I can move it. What happens if you move it? Look at that. You don't want to move it. If you're not close enough, delete it. It will delete the whole line. And you can always put the points back in. And it will, good thing is, it's going to remember what you've done. Okay. Just need to make sure I can put it in there. To click right on the point to do it. It's a little picky. Right, so that's how you would work with the color. So you can, I want you to work on it as we go. I would start with that highlight as the strongest and kind of see where I'm putting points. Okay, so start doing it. So I'm gonna do the next segment here. This is a highlight too, so I will do in the middle maybe. Now you don't even have to have the middle point because they're all light, right? So do I really need a middle? Probably not. So out. And remember, you need to sample all the points and you're going out from the highlight, except the one inside here. I'm sampling those around. This one is actually faster to do than the grape. Just the handle is more tricky. Again, start with the midtone, okay? That's the important thing. Now notice for this highlight, I didn't put one in the middle, and because it's really not necessary for this one. So see this one here, I have like one on the edge so they blend. So you don't really need to even have, and notice how they go. You see how it works? This one here, this is my completer one. I didn't put one in the middle. You don't have to when you have two stopping, because it's a sharp change at the end. Not like the highlight you have in a grape when it's more gradual. This is how you can get away with it. So you don't even need that line right there. That line here is not necessary. Right in the middle of the highlight. Because it's not spreading uniformly. It's very sharp at the end. So let me see here. Now when I have my lines and I did my color, there'll be some variations in the middle and like the bottom, how it goes. And so you really won't have many horizontal lines, just few that you would need to create. And you can create that line sooner too, because if you do it more, then you have to select every point and change color of it. But here it kind of fades, so. I'm gonna put some around here and here for that shadow. Okay, so something like this. Now my projection is making it more highlight than it is. But it should be kind of like, this is the contrast you get with the projector. It makes it, the highlight more light for some reason. But at least you know where the points go. And then the bottom, I need to make sure I select the points. And make the color too. And needs more on the side. So that's how you would work with these. And save. Okay. I feel like it needs more on here. So let me discuss your project with you, since we only have 20 minutes left. And you have this, and I'll be posting the videos. So this is it, save it, finish the rest and the handles. You have the tutorial for the handles, so work with this.